Good evening, everybody. Good evening. You all are a pretty shade of green out there. It is so wonderful to be with you. I want to thank Executive Director Carrie Clark, wherever she's hiding. Usually she's good at that. There she is. Board Chair Doug Rader, and the many hands who have worked behind the scenes to bring us this wonderful evening together. It's an honor to be with so many of North Carolina's strongest environmental advocates, and a pleasure to be with so many friends. And that includes my best friend, Anna Stein. My wife is here tonight. It would take some people with a really good memory, but in 2016, I think LCV gave me an award, and I couldn't be here. And so she went up and received the award on my behalf, and I've never gotten so many texts that I was saying, "It is so good you're not here. She did such a better job than you ever could have done." I'm a big fan. Since 1968, the League of Conservation Voters has worked to protect North Carolina's natural resources. Your leadership has helped to establish state parks, reduce our carbon emissions, prioritize clean air to breathe and clean water to drink, and encourage elected officials to work on conservation. So if you are an employee, a board member, a contributor, or a member of the LCV, I thank you. We thank you. I want to congratulate all the awardees. You have stood up for the quality of our air, water, and soil, and you've helped our state to begin the transition to a clean energy economy. I was incredibly honored when I won a Green Tie Award back in the day. So I think I understand your sense of pride and accomplishment in this recognition. Your commitment to serve our children and grandchildren is deeply appreciated. Let's thank these legislators, please. Y'all stand up. Everybody stand up. Thank you. They do such hard work under very challenging circumstances, I can assure you that. And I know why they do this work. It's because they, like I, like you, love this state, love North Carolina. How blessed are we to be from North Carolina? We are home to such friendly and good people, always ready to greet you with a kind word or a warm smile. Home to remarkable natural beauty, from the Blue Ridge Mountains to the Barrier Islands and everywhere in between. Home to some of the finest educational institutions in the world. Home to small businesses and Fortune 500 companies. Heck, we are home to the best barbecue and basketball in this country. Anna and I both grew up here. We raised our 3 children not far from here. They all went to North Carolina Public Schools, just like Anna and I did. North Carolina is home. And what we pray is that our kids and grandkids and your kids and grandkids also want to call North Carolina home. I am running for governor because I love this state and I want to keep it a place where everyone wants to grow their families, make their futures, build their families. And I'm running for governor because I believe in the promise of this state, that if you work hard, where you come from should never limit how far you can go. That our children, our kids and grandkids should enjoy a better and brighter future than we've had. That every North Carolinian has a fair shot at prosperity, getting a good paying job or starting a small business everywhere in this state, including small town North Carolina. Part of fulfilling that promise is defending our natural resources. As Attorney General, I've been taking on some tough fights for the people of this state and delivering. We have been fighting for families whose drinking water has been poisoned by polluters. Deborah talked about the work we did on behalf of the Department of Environmental Quality concerning Chemours. Well, that was a regulatory administrative action. In civil, I have taken DuPont and Chemours to court for discharging Gen X and other PFAS chemicals into the Cape Fear River, by the way, that last forever. And we will stick at this case until we hold them accountable. We've sued a dozen PFAS manufacturers for pollution that exists in 6 separate sites all across this state. We helped the Department of Environmental Quality negotiate what was the largest excavation of coal ash in the history of the United States, 80 million tons. And then we won a $1.1 billion, as Deborah would write, with a B, $1.1 billion resolution with Duke Energy to pay for that cleanup that lowers the power bills for every customer of Duke in the state of North Carolina. How good a blessing is it to have North Carolina's own Michael Regan as the administrator of the EPA? It was a genuine honor and treat to be with that man and Governor Cooper a few weeks ago as Michael announced the first ever nationwide legally enforceable PFAS drinking water standards for this country. I have to say, it's pretty refreshing to have an EPA administrator who believes that his job of heading the Environmental Protection Agency administration is to protect the environment. It is not complicated, yet that was not the case in my first term as Attorney General. I was compelled to time and again challenge the Trump administration's efforts to weaken the EPA's enforcement powers, whether it was winning clean power cases, or fighting for the clean car standards, or calling for limits on greenhouse gas emissions, or being part of a successful coalition that stopped efforts to allow oil and gas drilling off of our beautiful coast here in North Carolina. It has been an honor to do this work alongside so many of you who were fighting for these same goals, some of you for many years, some of you for decades, and we are all incredibly grateful for your commitment and dedication. Whether it's the Renewable Energy Portfolio Standard, or the Clean Smokestacks Law, or the Clean Water Management Trust Fund, the Renewable Energy Tax Credit, or the bipartisan clean energy legislation, we have come far as a state and have much to be proud of. None of these accomplishments would have been achieved had people not come together and been willing to work across our differences to move North Carolina forward. But even as we honor the progress that we've made, we know there is more work to be done, and we must confront the reality that there are some who want to drag us back to a dirtier past. So we must continue fighting for a clean environment and for a clean energy economy. We must reduce carbon emissions, create good-paying jobs in every corner of this state, and save consumers money by taking advantage of this moment. We must continue fighting for all communities to have access to clean air and clean water. It sounds so basic, but it is so true. We must advance environmental justice, a movement that was created here first in the state of North Carolina, to ensure that the effects of climate change and other forms of pollution are not borne disproportionately by our most vulnerable residents. And we must ensure that polluters are held accountable for harming North Carolina's environment and our people. They should pay to clean up the messes that they make. For our environment and for a host of so many other issues, it's not complicated. It's on us. It is on us to ensure a brighter future for this state. The stakes could not be higher in this election. We can elect leaders who understand the reality of climate change, or politicians who claim it is junk science. We can elect leaders who want to grow the clean energy economy of North Carolina, or politicians who threaten our progress to secure reliable, affordable, and clean energy for the future of this state. We can elect leaders who want to listen to all stakeholders, yes, including scientists, to make effective policies, or politicians who call them liars. Here in North Carolina, we are facing a stark choice, and there is no time to waste. We've seen hurricanes and floods of increasing severity. Just a few years ago, we experienced 2 500-year storms within 2 years of each other. Does not sound like 500 years to me. Some communities have not fully recovered from these devastating weather events. We've been experiencing intense heat. Last year, 2023, was the hottest year on record in the state of North Carolina. We must do everything we can to prevent the worst harms to our people and our environment. At the same time, we mitigate its impacts to the best of our abilities. These challenges are surely bracing, but they also create incredible opportunities. Clean air, clean water, clean energy. These are not only worthy goals, but they are exciting and energizing ones. We are seeing clean transportation help to transform our entire economy. Just think about some of the recent economic development successes we've had in this state. Toyota, VinFast, Boom Supersonic, Green New Energy Materials, Epsilon Advanced Materials, Alpatronic Americas, and more. Each of these companies demonstrate that we can fight for our environment and our economy at the same time. So as we leave this event tonight, I encourage each of us to take a moment and reflect on what our unique role can be in fighting for the North Carolina that we all want. Because it's going to take teamwork. It will take advocates like the League of Conservation Voters, businesses, scientists, citizens, our next governor, and our next General Assembly. I want to again congratulate all of the awardees for their recognition tonight. I want to thank you for your passion and your persistence in fighting for what's right. Shaping our future, like growing a garden, is a group project that takes the skills of a lot of different people. Some folks need to prepare the soil. Others plant the seed. Others weed, water, or harvest. And when I wrote this analogy, I wasn't sure what role I would do, but I love to eat. Somebody's got to eat. So no matter who you are, business leader, scientist, advocate, elected official, a person, you have a role to play in shaping our state's garden, in shaping our state's future. It is our responsibility to be clear-eyed about the stakes of this moment and our responsibility to do our part for the betterment of this state. So let's get to work together. Thank you.